Why did Khabib not ever go to 170 pounds? Now, let's start with where this question comes from. It comes from BJ Penn. Somebody did a comparison. I even spoke about it over here. Somebody did a comparison of prime BJ Penn versus prime Khabib. I liked it. I understand that Khabib wins. I liked the comparison because I got it. They were both greats in their time, and they were both innovators. Khabib with the takedowns, BJ for what you do once you were taken down. It's interesting. It's compelling. I'm into it. But now BJ's weighed in on it. And BJ talked about Khabib, and he was saying, hey, hold on a second. Before you make a comparison here, I went all sorts of different weight classes, and you want to know why Khabib didn't? He didn't have the confidence in his ability. This was BJ's opinion. But BJ has the right to share his opinion. One champion to another champion. BJ's got the right, and this is what BJ said. But let's take a closer look at that. Because that's exactly what we're going to have to do. We are never going to know. And there is a plethora of reasons why you wouldn't change the weight class. I can see, as far as obvious reasons, obvious being the key word, I can see more reasons as to why you would. I suggest for you perhaps it's something that is less obvious, but let's guess anyway. Why would you not change a weight class? Well, some guys have a number. Some guys have a number. I maintain for you, as clearly as I know how to speak, for Daniel Cormier, a name that you would know, he's a heavyweight. I have worked out with Daniel Cormier as a 205-pounder, as a heavyweight. He has a number. He's a different animal as a heavyweight. His balance is different. His timing is different. His center of gravity. I mean, I could go through the list. He's a heavyweight, and some guys have a number. Khabib might have a number of 155. There's also a byproduct that comes along with making weight. I didn't go through this, but I observed it. I had a teammate in college. His name is Doug Lee, one of the great wrestlers ever from the University of Oregon. 3-time conference champion, NCAA All-American. Doug had to be a 184-pounder, period. Doug beat the guys that won the championship at 197. Doug could not be a 97-pounder. Doug needed to be in a certain level of shape. He needed a certain level of conditioning to go out and get those beautiful results that I just stated for you that he did go out and get. But in making 184 pounds, forced Doug into the extra runs. It got him a little leaner, which made him a little bit more explosive, and it made him a little bit faster, but he needed that. The way he wrestled and the way he scored points, his number one offense, set you up, high crotch, pop his hips, put your hands on the mat, come down on top for two, worked because of speed and explosiveness, and he would run you down. He'd be firing that same shot at the end of the match, which is the conditioning. So he needed to be an 84-pounder. What it did to get to 184 represented what Doug needed to be successful. It's a great example, and it's one of the greater examples of my life. I don't know that about Khabib. I'm guessing for you. I'm guessing that's a less obvious number, or less obvious answer, that he knows his number. He knows what it takes to get to 155. He knows his level of discipline and lack thereof, perhaps. I have been around Khabib. When he was out for a period of time, he was cornering athletes. World Series of Fighting event, and Khabib was about 200 pounds. So that number of 155, what it takes to make that, what level of dedication and discipline, perhaps is what gave Khabib the confidence. And there's no reason to get bullied out of your weight class, by the way. This champ business is a very real talk. But you have a job, and it's not how people are going to remember you or what your legacy is or trying to control some kind of a narrative. It's winning the fight I have next. And that's what Khabib did. So Khabib did do his job. He didn't get pulled away. He is friends with Kamaru Usman. I don't think that's the answer at all. I do not think that Kamaru had anything to do with it. Just by example, because Khabib is very close with Makhachev. If Khabib would have left 155 and gone to 170, it would have opened a door for Makhachev, which in all fairness, even in Khabib's retirement, it has. But I don't know that there was any personal thing here. He didn't leave the weight. We would be left to guess why. And there's only so many options. I don't know. I'm a guy over here talking and guessing. My guess, though, is the byproduct and the work and the discipline needed to make lightweight is where Khabib felt he was at his best.